Hello students, today we are going to continue with the prose The Sporting Spirit by George Orwell. In the last lecture we had seen how the writer tries to prove his point that sport does not promote goodwill and friendliness. On the other hand, it promotes jealousy, hatred and animosity. We'll continue what he wants to say. Let's see. In the last lecture we had finished till here. We are going to continue from here. Even a leisurely game like cricket demanding grace rather than strength can cause much ill will, as we saw in the controversy over bodyline bowling and over the rough tactics of the Australian team that visited England in 1921. He is saying that not only football but cricket is known as the game of gentlemen. It demands grace here. He is saying in this game also we have the thing that the people who are playing the game, the people who are watching the game, they have the games have lot of controversy in it. Here he is giving us the example of 1921 Australian team's visit to England. Here he wants to tell us that time the controversy was there over the bodyline bowling and over the rough tactics of the Australian team who visited England. Football, a game in which everyone gets hurt and every nation has its own style of play, which seems unfair to foreigners, is far worse. Means it is this game here, it has a lot of emotional involvement of the spectators in the game. Means here in this game lot of things happen here. People try to beat each other, cause harm to each other and all. Lot of thing goes on other than the game which is being played here. Worst of all is boxing. Here is saying this game also, boxing also has some side effects. See here, one of the most horrible sights in the world is a fight between white and colored boxers. Means here if there is a, he wants to say the most dangerous you can say fight is between the white and black boxers here. And if the mixed audience is there, the people who favor the white boxers and the people who favor the black boxer, if they are sitting there, then the condition is really worse. But a boxing audience is always disgusting, and the behavior of the women in particular is such that the army, I believe, does not allow them to attend the contest. Means here is saying that the behavior of the audience is really disgusting in the boxing game here. Here he wants to tell us that the behavior of women is mainly very you can say uncontrollable. Means usually women have emotional feeling in them, they are very emotional, so they could not see the way the people are reacting to the sport here. So because of that, what happened, the army, the people, the guards who are there, what they don't allow the women to attend this boxing tournament here. I believe does not allow them to attend this contest. At any rate, 2 or 3 years ago, when home guards and the regular troops were holding a boxing tournament, I was placed on guard at the door of the hall with orders to keep the women out. Here he is saying that when there was a boxing contest between the home guards and the regular troops, there was a tournament there. That time he was doing guard, so he was a guard at the door of the hall, and the instruction was given by the organizers that he should not allow women in because they could not you can say bear whatever is going on there. In England, the obsession with sport is bad enough. The obsession means what? Influence. People are so much influenced by the sport that it leads to some you can say they go to some negative extents also. But even fiercer passions are aroused in young countries where games playing and nationalisms are both recent developments. Means, but he is saying that the more fiercer, most dangerous passion is in the young countries where the games are played at national level. In countries like India or Burma, it is necessary at football matches to have strong cordons. Cordons means what? Lines of police to stop people from entering field. Means people, they become so fierce that they do not follow the rules and regulation of the stadium also. They just try to enter the field here. So because of that, if there is game, if there is any sport being played in country like India and Burma, so what happened? The organizers should arrange cordons, the lines of police, to stop the spectators entering the field, to keep the crowd from invading the field. In Burma, I have seen the supporters of one side break through the police and disable the goalkeeper of the opposing side at a critical moment. When there was match going on, at that time only what happened? The supporters came and they did not allow the goalkeeper to, you can say, hold the or catch the ball here. The first big football match that was played in Spain about 15 years ago led to an uncontrollable riot. He is giving example of the football match played in Spain. As soon as the strong feelings of rivalry are aroused, the notion of playing the game according to the rules also vanishes. Means as soon as you have the strong feeling of rivalry among the opposite team or the spectators who are favoring the opposite team, so what happens? You forget all rules and regulation. People want to see one side on top and the other side humiliated. Everyone wants to see the team they are favoring at the top, and they want to see the team at the opposite one to be humiliated. So they forget that victory gained through cheating or through the intervention of the crowd is meaningless. Means they forget the rules and regulation of the game. Here when we play any sport, here what happen here? We have certain rules and regulation and we should follow them, and if we follow those rules and regulation and win the game, that is a real win. But here what happened? These people, they forget everything and they try to help the players either of the team which they are favoring by cheating to some other ways, or by trying to get into the field and help the players and all, and this kind of win is really meaningless, the writer wants to say here. Even when the spectators don't intervene physically, they try to influence the game by cheering their own side and rattling opposing players with boos and insult. Means even if they are not entering the field, then also they try to cause harm to the other player of the other side by what do they try to cheer loudly in favor of their team, and they try to use abusive language for the players of the opposing team. So because of that, what happened? The player of the opposite team, they lose the courage and morale to play, and in the field of tension, what happened? They are out of the field. Serious sport has nothing to do with fair play. It is bound up with hatred, jealousy, boastfulness, disregard of all rules and sadistic pleasure in witnessing violence. In other words, it is war minus the shooting. Here the writer wants to say here that serious sport is nothing with the fair play. Means here whatever the sports are played at the national level, at the international level, he wants to say it is not a fair play here, because all things like this, like the spectators getting involved, getting into the field, using abusive language for the players, or trying to cheer their team and trying to use abusive language for the other players, and other ways also they try to use here. So because of that, what happened? It does not remain a fair play, but it becomes a play which promotes hatred, jealousy, boastfulness, disregard of all rules, and sadistic pleasure. Sadistic pleasure means what? You get pleasure by causing harm to others. When you cause pain to others, what happens? You feel very happy. That is known as what? Sadistic pleasure. In other words, here he wants to say it is not a sport which is played on the field, but it is war which is being played on the field, but it is without shooting. Here we are not shooting here. In the war, how shooting takes place, but here we are not shooting, but instead we are using other means. So it is war minus the shooting. Instead of blah blahing about the clean, blah blahing means what? Talking meaninglessly about the clean, healthy rivalry of the football field and the great part played by the Olympic Games in bringing the nations together, it is more useful to inquire how and inquire how and why this modern cult of sport arose. Means here the writer was trying to say, instead of trying to say everyone that whatever sports were which are played at the national, international level or Olympic games which are played here, so it we try to tell that they are very clean, healthy, it does not promote rivalry and all. But we should not try to say this. Instead, we should try to find out here how this modern cult means what? The person who have excessive devotion regarding the sport here, means how we can make the people, the spectators or the citizens of the country feel that here it is only played to promote friendliness among the two countries, but it also you should not bother who wins or who loses. You have to just take it as a fair play. You have to enjoy the game. You should not have emotional involvement in it. And if this is happening, it is causing any negative effect, we should try to find out how we can overcome it. Most of the games we now play are of ancient origin, but sports does not seem to have been taken very seriously between Roman times and the 19th century. Means the games which are being played now, they are of ancient origin. From ancient times, the games had been invented here. But the Romans and in the 19th century, these people were not interested in the sports or games. Even in the English public school, the games cult did not start till the later past of the last century. Dr. Arnold, generally regarded as the founder of the modern public school, looked on games as simply a waste of time. Dr. Arnold, he is the founder of modern public school. He said he believed that games are simply a waste of time. Then chiefly in England and the United States, games were built up into a heavily financed activity. But later on, countries like England and United States, they tried to invest in this game and they try to build heavily financed activity. Means they try to organize tournaments at local level, national level, international level, capable of attracting vast crowds and rousing savage passion. Savage passion means what? The way the people behave here. They do not behave well here. They use abusive language and all, and they don't at all behave nicely here. So they are here. He wants to say they are promoting savage passions of the spectators, and the infection spread from the country to country. It is the most violently combative sport, football and boxing, that has spread the widest. There cannot be much doubt that whole thing is bound up with the rise of nationalism. Means here the writer is saying the most violent game, most violent sports are what? Football and boxing. Here what happened, you can say feeling of nationalism arises in the spectator, and because of that what happened, they try to behave so badly. That is with the lunatic modern habit, means an insane person, of identifying oneself with large power units and seeing everything in terms of competitive prestige. Here the person is not having, you are watching the sport here for fun here. He is having that competitive prestige that my side should win, my country should win. And if they lose, then the anger has no limit. Also, organized games are more likely to flourish in urban communities where average human being lives in a sedentary or at least a confined life and does not get much opportunity for creative labor. In a rustic community, a boy or a young man works off a good deal for his surplus energy by walking, swimming, snowballing, climbing trees, riding horses, and by various sports involving cruelty to animals such as fishing, cockfighting, and ferreting for rats and all. Means this type of thing goes on in the village. In a big town, one must indulge in group activities if one wants an outlet for one's physical strength or for one's sadistic impulse. Means here the writer wants to say, if you want to get involved in any kind of activity, you can get into a group activity, try to arrange some type of games and all, which can be just played for fun. You should not play such sports or games which can create animosity or hatred among each other. Games are taken seriously in London and New York, and they were taken seriously in Rome and Byzantium. In the Middle Ages, they were played and probably played with much physical brutality, but they were not mixed up with politics and not a cause of group hatred. Means, and in this Rome and Byzantine, London, New York also games are played, sports are played, but they are not played here with the mix of politics now, or you can say hatred among the people. It is only played for fun here. If you wanted to add to the vast fund of ill will existing in the world at this moment, you could hardly do it better than by a series of football matches between Jews and Arabs, Germans and Czechs, Indians and British, Russians and Poles and Italians and Czechoslovaks. Each match to be watched by a mixed audience of was 1 lakh spectators. I do not of course suggest that sport is one of the main causes of international rivalry, but big scale sport is itself, I think, merely another effect of the causes that have produced nationalism. Still, you do not make things worse by sending forth a team of 11 men labeled as national champions to do battle against some rival team, and allowing it to be felt on all sides that whichever nation is defeated will lose face. Means here is saying all the countries, though we know what is the fact behind this, still what happened, we now the people, urban people, modern people, they are trying to promote these sports and all. We are trying to invest in that, we are trying to favor them, we are trying to encourage them, and we are sending them to other countries to play the match, and if they lose, then God save them. I hope therefore that we shan't follow up the visit of the Dynamos by sending a British team to the USSR. If we must do, then let us send a second-rate team which is sure to be beaten and cannot be claimed to represent Britain as a whole. Therefore, there are quite enough real causes of trouble already, and we need not add to them by encouraging young men to kick each other on the shins amid the rows of infuriated spectators. Means here the writer wants to say here that we now should wake up. We should not try to do what it had happened at the time of the football match between Dynamos and the All England team here. He is saying instead of that, what happened, we should send a second-rate team and let them you can lose the game, let them be beaten, so that there is no animosity among them, and we also know what they are going to do there. Because he is trying to say here that instead of encouraging these young people to go there and fight with each other, kick with each other, and the spectators also shouting, getting angry on the other teams, people, spectators who are favoring them, and having you using abusive language, beating each other, having fight, the situation becoming uncontrollable, it is better that we do not do it. So here in this prose, here we come to know that the writer wants to say that sport in actual, you can say reality, it does not promote friendliness among the two countries, but instead it promotes, you can say, animosity, hatred and jealousy. I hope you have understood this prose. Thank you.